let's talk about Baki. Recently, I saw this take by Greenlee about the newest Baki part, and I just want to break down one of his takes to explain how, one, Baki isn't just a bunch of bullshit and how people miss the points. First, I'm going to let play out the clip I want to talk about, and then, I'm going to go into it.
The whole thing as to why he was here in the first place, but it went from testing different people's strengths to becoming this full-blown villain, if you will, or cutting his way to the top by offing different people in order to get what he wants. And I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense, but the way that it all transpired was, there was no thought behind it. They just said, the dude passed out on TV, yeah, he's gonna go to jail. He didn't even do nothing, he didn't even touch nobody. But
first, he says it kind of makes sense why Musashi becomes the antagonist. I'll get into that later because I think it makes 100% sense why it goes that direction. And two, he says it doesn't really make sense why it goes that way because there was no thought put into why Musashi attacks the reporter. And this is something I even realized in my reread to get these images, is that when the reporter's asking Musashi questions, she asks him, do you like cutting? And he notices that the reporter is asking it kind of like jokingly, and Musashi takes it seriously. He's like, is it wrong? Is it wrong to enjoy cutting? And the reason why he takes such offense to this, which I didn't even realize, this panel looks insane. But Musashi takes great offense to this because this is his lifeline. This is him. If you were to like choose one word to describe Musashi and his whole core to his being, is cutting. To climb by cutting is his calling, he says. It is a great rudeness to him because that is who he is to his core. And if you take that away, his legend wouldn't exist. Everything he's gotten from life just wouldn't exist. That's literally how he is in real life. He is known because he was this great warrior, right? Musashi in the Baki manga is an exaggerated version of the real Musashi. So that's why Musashi pretends to cut this guy, which also knocks the guy out. Here's another reason why his take of saying that he just had no thought behind it is wrong, because the characters debate about, like, can we even, like, arrest him? Like, he didn't touch the guy, and then they actually debate about it, and then they ultimately decide that they have to go get him, you know, because he's like, hey, he's a criminal. You can't just let him be. Technically speaking, we need to go, like, get some evidence at least. So they try to go detain him. That doesn't go well. So Musashi is kind of like Yujiro, where he doesn't like being challenged by people he deems way weaker than him, like, you know, normal policemen. So when the police officer has a little bit of an attitude and he's like, I'll have to arrest you, and it's like, come arrest me if you want. Musashi's just getting into that mode where he's ready to go. And then to make it worse, the police officer says, like, oh, you want to make the whole country your enemy, the whole nation? And his Musashi's like, you know what? Why not? I'll cut down the entire nation. This also doesn't come out of nowhere. His dissatisfaction for this current nation is something that was planted in the first chapters. When Musashi just realizes that this world is completely different and that violence isn't like the thing that would determine your worth, he's disappointed. He's almost disgusted. But then he realizes there's for sure has to be some new kind of threat, right? And that's why he's trying to find it, and that's where he wants to fight the new people, right? That's where the beginning of the arc starts. The idea of him wanting to challenge the nation and become the antagonist didn't come out of nowhere. It was built up and planted throughout his ego, his satisfaction for the nation, and his wanting to be the newest top dog. Like, when he meets Yujiro, he realizes Yujiro is one of the endpoints, and beating him and beating the fighters like him would be his new climbing goal. And he even proclaims that he will become the newest big guy. He will have streets crying his praises, right? He will have everything he had before again. That's why I disagree when people say that Baki has no thought, or just like, it's just aimless fighting. When there's so much thought put into why these characters are fighting, there's philosophies for fighting. Like, it's not the deepest, most complex series, right? But because people just have ran with this narrative that Baki is something that is a comedy and you should take it seriously at all, people don't even like interact with the baseline themes. No, it didn't come out of nowhere and have no thought behind it. I completely disagree there. There's a lot more to break down in this whole review. Overall, he likes the part, and I think he should read the part because all the Baki manga is better than the anime, like by miles. But either way, maybe I'll make a whole video for all his points because that could be fun. Have a good one.